Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. Another day, another drama channel drama, and today we're going to be talking about the Twitter back and forth that happened between Nikki from Tea Time and Metamorphosis Rocks. Now I know that this drama is a few days old, but for some reason I decided that I needed to sleep for 2 days because my body was like, nope, you're not doing this anymore. Your sleep schedule is way too messed up, so I'm going to make you hibernate for a bit. If you have not seen my previous video titled James Charles is getting a major backlash for this, I will link that up in a card over here as well as down in the description down below, so definitely make sure you go check that out as well. And before we get into the drama, I do want to apologize if you hear a dog barking in the background. My neighbor's dog is out because it is like 7 in the morning right now, so he's just out and about making a lot of noise. And I also want to apologize for how terrible my hair looks because I feel like I'm giving you a nice little Ryan Cabrera throwback, and obviously I can't get a haircut at this point in time, so this is what we get to deal with. Alright, let's go ahead and jump on into the drama. So all of this drama started off when Nikki tweeted out the following. I've had several requests asking if I'm willingness to go on at Mind of a Miracle channel and have a transparent conversation with at Sia. My response to this is sure, if she's willing to show her face and come have a heart-to-heart with me, then why not? Sia then quote tweeted that and said, I decline, I hope you both take care, at Still Charmed, at Mind of a Miracle. So if you are unaware of the history between Nikki and Sia, Sia is the one that allegedly sent Nick Snyder all of Nikki's old past tweets that we have talked about in a previous video, which he has since come out and apologized for everything that he has said in his past. But since all that has happened, obviously these two have a little bit of bad blood, and people were wondering if they were able to come online and talk everything out and make peace finally, and they both are declining. Now, this is when all the drama between Nikki and Metamorphosis Rocks starts, when Metamorphosis Rocks tweets out the following. Why isn't he asking T-Trigger and Drama Parody to show their faces? Oh yeah, because they are anonymous accounts and we should respect their anonymity. So why aren't they respecting yours? Now, I will agree with Metamorphosis Rocks on this statement that I don't believe that Sia should have to go online and show her face if she is not willing to. Yes, she does have an icon in her Twitter profile, but does anybody know if that's actually her picture or not? No, the only person that does is her. So I can understand why she's saying, well, how come she has to come out and show her face when there are plenty of other channels who have been involved in drama who don't go out and show their faces, so I can see where she is coming from with this point. Nikki then replied saying, any excuse to insert yourself and speak to me, huh? Metamorphosis Rocks then replied saying, the beauty of social media is that anyone can comment on anyone's post. It's a public post. People can comment. If you want to avoid people, why are you here? And here again, I will agree with Metamorphosis Rocks that this post is public because it is on a public Twitter, so technically anybody is allowed to comment on it and to share their opinions. Nikki then replied saying, what I'm not about to do is go back and forth with you. So if you want an argument, you'll be arguing with yourself. Have the day you deserve. Now, when Nikki sent out this tweet and said basically, well, I'm not going to argue back and forth with you, I was like, oh, okay, well, this drama is going to be over. Well, boy, was I wrong because it just kept going. Nikki then tweeted, quote, I don't have time for this, but babe, you make time for every time. You think of me so often and I think of you so little. He continued on by saying, Rocks, don't start with your Molly Peacemaker. You started this, you wanted these problems, and now that you got them, you're trying to play innocent. Ain't nobody here for your fake. And I will agree with Nikki here that if you choose to talk about somebody or speak on somebody, don't be surprised when they turn around and start talking back to you and calling you out. Now, that's the beauty of social media, is that anybody can post on anybody's post because it's public, but that also gives that other person the right to defend themselves. And then Metamorphosis Rocks replied with something in Spanish, which I'm not even going to pretend like I'm going to read correctly, so I will just read the Google translation, which says, I'm not looking for fuel for my... Answer the... coward. So when she tweeted this out, I was completely confused, and I'm like, okay, why are we switching this from English to Spanish for absolutely no reason? I don't understand what is going on at all. Nikki then replied saying, it's so funny that she'd answer me in a language that she thinks I don't understand. Stop running your mouth about me, then playing the victim when I pull your card. Grow a pair. Metamorphosis Rocks then replied saying, I was under the impression your family is half Hispanic, which is why I figured you'd understand. The fact that you keep deflecting and never answered the question tells me everything I need to know. I gave you the chance to answer the only thing I want to know. Now, I don't know why Metamorphosis Rocks is under the assumption that Nikki is half Hispanic, because I don't believe I've ever seen him say anything that he actually was. We'll get into that a little bit more later on. Alright, let's go ahead and continue. Nikki replied saying, "Girl, what's the question? If you asked me one, I didn't see it. My mentions actually go up, so I don't see them at all. But since you have attention, ask." Now, I was actually confused as well because I was like, okay, what question was she asking? But then it took me a minute and I was like, oh, she's asking, why does Sia have to go on and show her face when he's not asking other channels like T-Trigger and Drama Parody to go and show their faces? Nikki then tweeted, "At Sia just wants to trash me for clout. She doesn't want to have an actual conversation. I'm her think piece." Sia then tweeted, "I have no unresolved issues with anyone. If I had issues with you in the past, I've reflected and resolved it on my own for my peace. If you have an issue with me, I suggest you do the same and stop asking me to make you feel better about yourself." Now, with their past, I don't feel that Nikki and Sia will ever possibly be friends. Could they possibly at some point move on from what happened in the past and not talk about each other? That is a possibility, but we will see what the future brings. Nikki then quote tweeted that and said, "So keep my name out your mouth and off your videos. Okay, thanks, bye." Nikki then tweeted, "They always want to talk on your name till you're ready to talk back." And I can agree with Nikki here because we see this a lot of times with the larger drama channels where people will come at the larger drama channels and then they clap back and then people get very upset and angry that the larger channels have then started to attack them. But they're just literally defending themselves and people get upset. And so I'm not surprised that when another channel starts to talk back, that people will stop talking. He then tweeted, "Also, if Shelby has anything to say, unblock me. You talking all this, but I've got time today." Now, I'm not exactly sure what happened between Nikki and Shelby recently. I know that they had some kind of issue where I think that somebody was talking about somebody in a live or something. I don't know. Sometimes it's really hard to keep up with people, especially when there's like hours upon hours of lives and tweets and all that stuff. But I heard something about somebody was talking about somebody in a live or something. I don't know. If somebody knows, please let me know down below. Followed by, "Y'all see how Shelby, Sia, and Rox got real quiet? They are all thinking of how they're gonna come for me, but I will flame them all, with receipts and without question." So basically, Nikki is saying, you know what, if you want to keep coming at me, come on at me because I have the receipts to back everything up, and whatever you say, I'm going to debunk it and call you out. So I'm not worried one bit. And you know what? He was correct. I didn't really see anything else happen after this. But of course, that's not the end, so let's continue. Another user then replied to Rock saying, "That's racist of you to say. I already hate your..." But to basically say that you expect him to understand because he has Hispanic family? Really? At your big old age? So you assume anyone who is in part Hispanic automatically has to understand Spanish? Is that one of the requirements? And I can agree with this person. You can't assume that somebody speaks some kind of language just because you assume that they do. There are plenty of people from different nationalities that don't speak their quote-unquote native language. Let's be honest. Just because somebody is Hispanic does not necessarily mean that they know how to speak Spanish. Nikki replied saying, "I don't even speak to old girl, but she always finds a way to talk about me. Even when my channel was tiny AF and I paid her dust. An entire year later, I'm finally asking her what's good and she's playing coy. You've been asking for these problems for a year now. What's good?" So basically, Nikki is saying that Metamorphosis Rocks has been trying to call him out for the past year now, and he has not engaged with her, and he basically was like, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm not doing this anymore. If you want to go at it, fine. Let's go at it. Another user replied saying, "Yep, it's a hideous assumption. Still, why answer in Spanish? The whole argument is formulated in English. Based on her comment in Spanish, she wants straightforward answers, so why is she asking in English since Nikki is a native English speaker?" And again, I was confused with the switch up of language as well. Like, the whole argument was in English, so why did we have to try to switch it into Spanish? To me, that made absolutely no sense at all. Nikki replied saying, "Also, my Hispanic family is fluent in Spanish. I'm not Hispanic though. I am often confused for Dominican. I am Nigerian and German. My Hispanic family's truth is not mine, but I appreciate them for always making me feel welcome." So there we have it straight from Nikki's own mouth that he is not Hispanic, that he is Nigerian and German, but gets often confused for Dominican. And again, just because you think that somebody is a certain race or a nationality, it does not necessarily mean that they will know the language. And then finally, Nikki tweeted, "At Metamorphosis rocks. I see you here liking posts but don't have anything to say. But you have a lot to say when you think I'm not going to respond. I'm the coward here, but you are real quiet when you have the floor. Time me out when I'm in your live? It seems you are the coward." Alright, but that is everything that I have for today's video, so I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you think that it's fair for Nikki to call out Sia and say, well, if you want to show your face, I will definitely go on a chat and talk everything out with you? Or do you think that he shouldn't be able to ask her to show her face, but she could just go on some kind of chat and have it blacked out? Do you think that it was okay for Metamorphosis Rocks to step in and point that out, or do you think that she just didn't have any business being in the argument since it wasn't involving her to begin with? But I would love to know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you like this video, please make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. Also, if you're new to my channel, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could hit the big red subscribe button and hit the bell icon and set your notifications to all so you'll be notified of every time that I upload a new video. Alright, that's everything for today, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!